مدرستنا حسام الدين، احنا ولادها بنات وبنين. مدرستنا حسام الدين، احنا ولادها بنات وبنين. كلنا واحد، حلمنا واحد، مع بعضنا كلنا ناجحين.
Mr. Hani Adli from Husam al-Din Private School. After listening to our school song, let's get ready for our lesson. Please concentrate.
Hello everybody, we are talking today about Unit 15. Its title is Technology. We will speak about lessons 1 and 2 and its objectives are: read a text about technology and answer some questions. Use the second conditional with would, might or could. Talk about possibility and impossibility. The orientation is answer the following questions about: where do doctors work? Who helps doctors? New vocabulary or new definitions. Social media, websites used by people to communicate. Arrange, make plans for something to happen. Development, the process of becoming bigger, better, etc. Advertise, tell people about something in newspaper, on TV, extra. Pay, give someone money for something that you are buying. Transfer, move someone or something from one place to another. Let's watch a video about technology. Now let's read the reading on page 29. Its title is The Little Technology. Egypt was the first Arab country to use the internet and now has nearly 50 million internet users. However, technology is changing all the time, so it's important to learn about the latest development. Many jobs now require you to know how to use social media. Some companies now use social media to advertise jobs and to arrange interviews. In fact, if a person didn't know how to use social media, it might be more difficult for them to find work. How we send messages is also changing. In the past, you could only send emails using a computer. Now, you can send texts or emails on a mobile phone or tablet. Social networking sites allow you to send messages to many people at the same time. This is very useful if you want to send messages to a group of people, for example, to your friends in a sports team or a book club. The way that we use our mobile phones is also changing. We can use them to transfer money to or from a bank, or even to pay from things in shops. If someone wanted to have the latest technology, they could buy a smartphone. The latest technology can help you to do many things. You can find out about it online or in some magazines. How to use the second conditional with would, might, or could. We use the second conditional to talk about situations that are either impossible or which might not happen. If I were taller, I would be good at basketball. If I went to England, I would visit London. So let's speak about the new structure. If followed by past simple, the second sentence would be would. You can use would, might, could plus infinitive. You can use would or might or could plus infinitive. If I had a lot of money, I would buy a car. She would run away if she saw a snake. If I were a bird, that's impossible to be a bird, I would fly. If I were an animal, that is also impossible, I would be a lion. If I were you, I would study harder. You could use the second conditional if to speak about advice. If I were you, we use here were with all the pronouns, with all subject pronouns to express advice or to say that it's impossible to be you. If I were him, I would take a taxi. We can use might instead of would. If you learned Japanese, you would perhaps. Instead of would perhaps, you could use might. If you learned Japanese, you would perhaps get a job in Tokyo, so we can replace would perhaps with get. Might not, we can use it instead of wouldn't possibly. If you went to the museum now, it wouldn't possibly. You can use wouldn't possibly. You can use might instead of wouldn't possibly in the second sentence. If you went to the museum now, it might not be very busy. We can use would be able to plus infinitive. We can use would or could instead of would be able to plus infinitive. As if we went to the beach, we would be able to go swimming. Instead of would be able to, we can use could. Instead of would be able to, we can use could. If we went to the beach, we could go swimming. We can use couldn't instead of would be impossible to. We can use couldn't instead of would be impossible to. If you went to school on Friday, it would be impossible to go into. Okay? So we can say if you went to school on Friday, you couldn't go into. Okay? Let's see our evaluation today. Let's start with the choose. I'll always read about the latest space in technology. Okay, Anas, let's try to answer. Yes, well done. Developments. Number 1. Number 2. In some countries, you can space money to or from a bank. Okay, Iyad. Yes, good effort. Transfer. Number 3. You can find jobs. Space the internet. You can find jobs. Space the internet. Rawan? Yes, on. Well done, Rawan. There is a or an space in the newspaper for a new computer game. Ali? Yes, advertisement. Okay. Number 5, it's a or an. That all the manual workers wear boots. It's a or an space that all the manual workers wear boots. It's a or an, yes, Shadi. Requirement. It's a requirement. Okay, well done. The students have space to see the teacher after the class. The students have Omar, yes, arranged. Sorry, Omar, try again. Think carefully. Yes, Omar, developed. Okay. Well done. Let's move to the right questions. Number 1, you should study hard. Begin with if I were you. Hey, Ayman. Yes. If I were you, I would study hard. Number 2, study hard or you will fail. Use if. Muhammad, okay. If you study hard, you won't fail. Number 3, I didn't say hello because I didn't recognize you. Use if. Here we will use the third conditional. We haven't spoken about it yet, but I'll try to answer it for you. If I had recognized you, here we change the negative into affirmative. We begin the sentence after because. If I had recognized you, I would have said hello. Number 4, it's the same. It's past, so we use the third conditional. He arrived late, so he missed the plane. So we use if here. Number 4, he arrived late, so he missed the plane. We can use if here. So we can say if he hadn't arrived late, he wouldn't have missed the plane. Number 5, he isn't tall, so he can't play basketball. If we use if here, we can say if he was tall or if he were tall, he could play basketball. You can use both was or were after he. And today's homework is write the following sentences. See you. Goodbye.
Dear students, our today's lesson had just finished. I am waiting for your questions. Please write your comments. Please write for me soon. Till we meet again. Goodbye.